So I recall when I first started psychic training, I was first originally casting runes and meditating. Eventually, I was going to do tarot and palmistry. But during the first few weeks of my training, I began to have paranormal activity in my home, and it was a ghost. And I had dealt with this situation, and there was no problem. It was a very exciting moment, I remember. And even my teacher was very, very excited. I mean, she heard one of the disturbances in the house when the ghost was trying to make its presence known. And so it was a very exciting moment, but also it meant I had a paranormal mediumship. But I recall at the end of the training, which was a brief 2 years, she had let me go from my training. And this is because she felt that I got too much into the paranormal, which was the fun stuff, she said, and I should have been doing the stuff that was not the glamorous, fun stuff like meditation and runes. And I disagreed with her reasonings behind it, but I did not challenge her on that. I was doing readings every day. I was meditating every day, though I was not aware that going on a walk and, meditating while on the move was a legitimate form of meditation. I thought it was sitting in a room where it's quiet, lighting a candle. But again, I was not aware. And, again, I didn't want to cause any conflict. And so I just simply accepted it. But when I started working with my spirit guides about a year later, my paranormal mediumship grew exponentially. I mean, I was starting to be attacked by astral fragments, and these are the primitive but malicious entities that take the form of insects and animals like crabs and roaches and foxes and cats and even other animals and insects that you can find on another planet, but not this one. And so I was having all these things happen to me. And I remember talking to my spirit guide. Even she was quite shocked that my mediumship just went through the roof. Now, when I became a prophet later, I asked Bridget, how did my paranormal mediumship just exponentially grow? I mean, I thought maybe when I first after I got let go, that I was maybe on the wrong path. Maybe I was just doing the fun stuff, the glamorous stuff when it comes to psychic intuition and not the, serious stuff, which is the runes or the palmistry or the meditation. And Bridget said anyone can be trained to throw runes and read lines on hands or read stars in the sky. Very few people can be psychic mediums or paranormal mediums, as they're more formally referred to. And it was also more important, she said, that I learned how to be a paranormal medium, because there are so many conflicting ideologies on the paranormal. There's conflicting information on spirit guides, conflicting information on ghosts or demons, you name it. And she wanted to train someone in the paranormal to be a paranormal medium, but also to have the truth as to the paranormal. Believe it or not, there are only 4 life forms on the astral plane, and that is the spirit guide, the ghost, the astral fragment, and the demon. But talk to another psychic and they would say, no, there is more than that. There are trickster spirits, or there are spirits of beings who may have once been alive who are pretending to be spirit guides. And that is not true, because I have never seen any signs that these entities are trickster entities or beings or entities pretending to be something that they're not. If you just look at all the disturbances, the types of disturbances that each entity causes, there are only 4 paranormal life forms, which are the ones I mentioned. And so that is why I'm a paranormal medium. I didn't ask to be a paranormal medium. It just happens. And that's something that can happen with anyone who begins to open their third eye, because the whole process to where things, abilities unlock in your mind, such as, clairvoyance or paranormal mediumship, or the ability to channel, or the ability to be a psychometrist, someone that can hold an object and kind of learn about maybe the last person who held the object, or sit in a car and learn about who might own it, or who once owned it, or an accident that might happen. You have no control over that. And so I understand now that, I was meant to be a paranormal medium, and that it was very important that we establish a much better, stronger, and simpler perspective on the paranormal based off of disturbances and signs. And with each paranormal life form, there are different signs. Now, there is some overlap. A ghost can cause knocking just like a spirit guide, but a ghost cannot move objects, but a spirit guide could, to get the attention of the person of which they're trying to guide, which is from the spirit guide standpoint, while a ghost will just knock on objects just to get the attention of any believer. And so there you have it. This is why I'm a paranormal medium. And it is a scary experience. I mean, I thought I couldn't be scared of anything when when I began the psychic work, but when I had my first ghost and it came out of the closet, and I always had a fear of closets, well, I got scared. But that is why I'm a paranormal medium. It just happened, and it happened for a reason. And it just goes to show that it seemed no matter what I said or what I did in my life, I was going towards a direction, and I was being guided and prevented from making any detours off this path. And so there you have it.